Hi everyone, welcome back to Special Interests with Bob and Donna. If you're a first-time watcher, welcome. We welcome you. A little bit about us. Robert Banfelder is an award-winning crime thriller novelist. Most of his novels have to deal with serial killers, and a couple of them are doing very nicely, especially the Long Island serial killer cases. He has 2 books about that, and a very interesting developments are happening with that, and it's an ongoing investigation. He's also author of 6 handbooks on fishing, hunting, bow hunting, gunning, the writing process, and we have co-authored 2 gourmet cookbooks that you might be interested in, because I know a lot of outdoorsy people love to cook. Well, at least the ones we know, they love to cook, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, well today, folks, we have a very, very interesting...
I'm going to interrupt you for a second.
Okay.
Okay? You gave all these credentials with the books and all that. Tell them what I'm working on most recently, having to do with Brian.
Oh, yeah, he's intense research going on the Idaho student murders case, where Brian Kohlberger has been charged with the murders of four Idaho University students.
It's just a bizarre,
Very bizarre.
Bizarre case. It changes like every few days. Major developments.
Major developments, absolutely, and very, very strange developments as well, involving the parents at some point being questioned by a grand jury hearing. But anyway, if you're interested in those kinds of things, please check out his website at Robert Banfelder, BANFELDER.com. And also know that all of his books, his novels and outdoors books, are available on Amazon.com. So I'm going to leave Bob. I'm not going to tell you what he's going to talk about, because it's like really...
It's
different. Exciting, and it's different. So I'm going to go behind the camera and I'm going to leave it to him. So we'll be right back.
Okay, regarding CRKT's knives and tools, I've reviewed several at this point. We're going to be looking at, instead of a knife, we're going to be looking at a very serious tool. And I'll give you, well, I'll stand up and I'll give you a hint as to what tool we're going to be talking about. Okay? Here we go. Smiley face. All right? Now, this is Columbia River Knife and Tool Black Woods Chogan T-Hawk with sheath, as you can plainly see. And the model number is a 2730 K as in Kiss, S as in Sam. And I'm going to be removing this because we're going to be talking about, before I do that, I carried this tomahawk for 8 hours, one late morning, early afternoon, and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, you do not feel the weight of this 2-pound head here. And what I'll just show you, you have quite a bit of wiggle room here if you want to carry it more toward the front, middle, side. You can do that in between the 2 belt loops. Again, you do not even know you have this on you. So what I want to do now is remove this from the belt and the sheath, and we'll talk about this in detail. Let me get dressed. Okay, so this is CRKT's Columbia River knife and tool, Black Woods Chogan T-Hawk with Sheath Tomahawk, model number 2730 KS. Again, as in K as in Kiss, S as in Sam. And Donna will have, we'll put this up on a screen so you'll have. Okay, it's a versatile two-handed tomahawk. In other words, it's a small axe, if you will. It is a combination of a hatchet, an axe, tomahawk, hammer. Back of this piece here is called a pole, P-O-L-L. Okay, and you can see it's in its sheath, and it's fastened here around the pole and around the handle. And what we'll do is we'll take this out, and you'll see there's a bit of protection on here. It comes boxed like this, and I'll put this down. In the box, of course, it doesn't have the head, it wouldn't fit in here. The head is separate from the handle. And the sheath comes in here. You have some literature, and it's very, very simple to attach the head to the handle. On some, most of us are used to taking an adze or a hatchet and tapping it this way to securely fasten the head or to tighten the head. Here, what you do, and the instructions will show you steps 1, 2, and 3. And if Donna focus on number 3, you see how the hand is smacking the handle with the head down like this. Boom, boom, boom. 3 times. And it's locked in there, and it's not going anywhere unless we abuse this. And I'm going to talk about some mistakes people make in abusing tools as such. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside here. We don't need this anymore. Okay. And this. Put the sheath aside. Okay. This tomahawk is designed by designer and president Ryan Johnson of RMJ Tactical Tools in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And Donna, can you get a picture of the gentleman from this picture? Picture of a picture. I don't know how good it's going to come out. Okay. Can you get those whiskers? Can you see those whiskers?
Yes.
We're going to talk about that later on, okay? Just remind me if I forget to talk about his whiskers.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. It's a powerful tool for its size, with an overall fire-treated Tennessee hickory length handle.
Hickory?
Hickory.
Hickory. It's nice looking.
Hickory, well, I'll be talking about what a dense material, what a very strong handle this handle is made of. Okay, so this delivers nearly 2 pounds of heft to branches, limbs, and small trees. It may be used as a tool for whittling wood. And we're going to be doing this, we're going to be taking this outside, and we're going to be doing several jobs that this tool handles beautifully. We're going to be whittling wood, we're going to be debarking trees. We'll take down a small tree, we'll use the limbs to make a shelter. And you'll see how, again, you'll see how versatile this tool is. Okay, my notes tell me here, remind me to tell you that it not only whittles wood, you can carve an artifact out of it if you're somewhat artistic. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine made a rustic bowl, a wooden bowl from a limb of a tree. It'll tackle lightweight timber, or employed as a weapon. Okay, and many of us know from days of old, tomahawks were just that, they were used as a weapon. As a matter of fact, instead of the pole, some of them had a spike, and Johnson designs one of these with the spike on the end, and that's, you know, if you have malice on your mind. Okay, and of course you can pound in pentegs with this. You can batter stone and brick work if you're so inclined. Whatever job is necessary, this can pretty much tackle. So it is in essence the quintessential fusion, again, of a tomahawk, a hatchet, a hammer, and an axe. Whether employed as a weapon, a wilderness survival tool, or basic campsite bushcraft buddy, the Black Woods Chogan T-Hawk will serve you extremely well, hence this tomahawk's multifaceted utility. Well, this tomahawk by Ryan Johnson was first introduced back in 2014, and it impressed CRKT's staff, Columbia River Knife and Tools staff. Later, the Black Woods model enthralled the group. The T-Hawk's form and function were fine-tuned. Its redesigned head resulted in perfect balance for chopping wood and taking on several other tasks. In a word, wow, this is some tool. And I chose this of the 15 tools, apart from knives now, the 15 tools that Ryan has designed. I chose this because of the 15 of the group, I feel, Bob Banfelder feels, that this is the most versatile. It is my campsite buddy. Okay, let's move ahead here. As a point of information, Chogan, C-H-O-G-A-N is the pronunciation. Chogan is the Native American name for a blackbird. The expanded model name for Ryan Johnson's Black Woods Chogan Tomahawk was inspired by the woods, literally, nearby his workshop in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And that picture that we saw a moment ago, that's Ryan at his workshop in Chattanooga. So let's view the Tomahawk's specifications. Okay, first off, we have, and I've got some measuring tools here so we get precise. We can use this here. Precise measurements. So the blade length in this direction here is just almost 3.5 inches, and that's what I have written down here, 3.5 inches. Okay, this beard section here, and I think I have to use different measuring form here. Okay. It says 2 inches, so
do it here.
Okay. Can you, well, they really can't say. I'm going to
very
have to do
tiny.
it this way, the beard section. Okay. 2 inches. 2 inches on the money. Okay. Now, this is very sharp, and we're going to talking about people who made comments, not only on this tomahawk referencing its sharpness, but on other tomahawks and tools, tomahawks, hatchets, axes in general, okay? This is pretty damn sharp, and this is, and for a good reason, not quite as sharp, okay? We'll get into that in a moment. Blade to pawl, the edge here to the very end is, got to kind of do it like this, 8 inches. Can you see that,
Yes.
Donna? You picking that up? Okay. Let's talk about the steel a little bit. The steel is hot forged 1055 carbon steel head. 1055 carbon steel has been lauded as easy to sharpen while retaining edge retention. The blade finish is magnesium phosphate. This phosphate coating is for superior corrosion resistance. The blade thickness, and we'll measure this thickness at this widest point here. And what do I have down here as a blade thickness, Donna?
0.52 inches. A little
Okay,
over a
half an inch. Now, can you focus in on that? Precise at its widest point here. And of course it tapers down and into a very sharp edge. Okay? Next, the overall length. Use this yardstick here. Is precisely what, Donna?
19?
19 inches.
19 inches.
The weight, as I mentioned earlier, is almost 2 pounds. It's 1.99 pounds. Can't get closer than that. 2 pounds. The handle, you'll note, is tapered. And let's talk about this tapered handle. It's Tennessee hickory. Tennessee hickory is a dense, durable material that stands up to extreme use and abuse. The handle is fire treated to add aesthetically pleasing, dark textured lines throughout its length. Get this out of the way here. And let me turn this over, Donna, so they see the others. As a matter of fact, we'll do a side view here, come around. Okay. So, where are we going from here? The style, of course, is a tomahawk. And it is, again and again and again, I say this, a combination of a hatchet, axe, and hammer. The sheath is belt style. It's full grain, handcrafted leather. And I'll put this back before the camera. And I'm going to turn this over, Donna, so to get a full view of this. Okay. And it is fine leather. Beautiful. Beautiful. So again, on earlier models, Ryan didn't have a sheath for this. The company didn't, offer it, and then later on, they started to come out with a sheath, and then with belt sheath, and so on and so forth. But again, when you wear this, you won't even know it's there. Okay, as president of RMJ Tackle, Ryan Johnson is widely recognized and regarded as a metallurgy weapons specialist, melding modern-day engineering technology with centuries-old tool and weapons conceptualization. The Black Woods Chogan Tomahawk hatchet, hammer, and axe design. It is, if you will, a jack of all trades and a master of several of these archetypes. Spanning 3 decades, 30 years, Ryan has designed a legion of fine tomahawks, hatchets, and axes for the United States military and law enforcement. 3 decades of knowledge goes into these fine tools. For example, Special Forces, that's your Green Berets. Special Operations, that's your Navy SEALs. Special Weapons and Tactics, that's SWAT, that's your SWAT team. Very serious ordinances. Ryan has also designed a handful of both fine fixed blade and folding knives for everyday civilian use. And I have a note here, a C note for an impressive listing. Now, rather than go through each and every one of the 15, and I believe the 8 knives, which include fixed blade and folding knives, Donald put a list up there. But I'll just mention, we'll note the development here. First, Ryan came out with the Shogun hammer with blade, okay? Hammer with blade. Then he went to the Shogun hatchet, and then to the Woods Chogan T-Hawk, and then the Black Woods Chogan T-Hawk with sheath. So you can see, let's say I gave this some time, not 30 years, but I gave this some time to consider this versatile tool, and again, it's why I chose it for this review. Oh, and we got CRKT over here. And let's focus on him over here. Woods Chogan RMJ design, 1055 carbon steel, and there's that model number 2730 SK. Okay. I'll just mention one more of these tools. Donna will put on the list of 15. There's one I'm going to mention. It's called the KUK, Cook, whatever you want to say. And it runs more along the lines of a machete. So when you Google these tools, you'll see several interesting designs. Okay, yeah, I was right on. I have, he has 8 knives, which include both folding and fixed blades. And again, I won't bother to mention their names. Some have interesting names like No Bother, Fixed Blade with Sheath and Lanyard, blah, blah, blah. For a complete description, photos and videos, again, Donna will put that up, and you'll check current availability, as some of the items could be out of stock and some of them might even be discontinued. But you'll view that. First, a few important notes addressing tomahawks, hatchets, and axes in general. The blade referred to as the bit consists of a flat ground beveled edge. The section running perpendicular to the bottom of the blade's heel is commonly called, Donna, do you remember?
Beard?
The beard.
The beard.
Okay. Note Black Woods Chogan T-Hawk's semicircular, beveled, bearded profile. And again, it is not as sharp as the edge of the blade here. And again, there's a reason for that. I mean, it's sharp, but it is just not quite as sharp as the edge. 2 blades inflict power and added punch with each formidable bite. Upon out-of-the-box inspection and/or first impressions in the field, some folks commented that the tomahawk's primary blade, the bit, could be a wee bit sharper. And again, we're not talking specifically about this. These tools in general, people say, oh, people expect it to be as sharp as a knife blade, okay? And that's not what's going on here. That's not the purpose of that. Okay, so some people would like it to be a wee bit sharper, no pun, or pun intended, maybe, on that edge. Perhaps not. Let's consider the function of the blade's beveled grind, referencing this tomahawk. Say you are chopping away at a heavy log repeatedly, delivering several powerful blows. Ideally, you need not struggle each time with an equal amount of force furnished by the downward swing in order to dislodge the blade from the log, because it is otherwise now buried too deeply in the wood. When the blade refuses to let go, what happens? The person handling the tomahawk, the natural tendency is to mistakenly use the handle as a fulcrum, a lever, first by wrenching the tool back and forth, then, if still stuck, by dint of violently wrestling the implement from side to side, back and forth, side to side. And what is that going to do? See, this design minimizes, I'll use the word minimizes, that operation. This latter action puts undue stress on the shaft and weakens the handle. The handle, aka referred to, you see, haft, H-A-F-T, help, H-E-L-V-E, or hang. It's even referred to as hang, which could eventually result in a crack. That's when people use and abuse these tools, really not understanding their function. Hence, a pair of precision beveled cutting edges, the edge and the beard, smartly address this issue by way of Ryan Johnson's Black Woods Chogan T-Hawk design. The blades provide a wider cutting surface. The design also reduces the overall weight of the tool. Let me repeat that. The design also reduces the overall weight of the tool. Cut out, cut back. Again, not quite 2 pounds, 1.99 pounds. Therefore, this tomahawk is what I'm saying is, give this tomahawk a serious workout before judging its sharpness too quickly. Now, in all fairness, if you still feel that the tool needs to be a bit sharper after you've put it through its paces, give it a go. Several passes, and by that I mean such as 6, several passes will more than suffice. Just keep in mind that you are sharpening the blade of a wider, heavy-duty implement, not the thin blade of a knife as I mentioned earlier. That needs to be razor sharp. Got it? Good. For tools such as tomahawks, hatchets, axes, and knives, one of Ken Onion's Edition Design Work Sharp, that's a trademark, variable speed electric sharpeners will prove a godsend, both in terms of precision and expediency. Low and slow is the way to go. I cannot say enough about these sharpening systems. I will be reviewing Ken's blade design sharpeners in my next video for handling heavier tools such as tomahawks, hatchets, and axes, as well as cutlery, as well as knives. In the meantime, you can check out these awesome, and Donna's going to put that up on
in the description.
Okay, now, if you recall from our previous video, we talked about Ken Onion at great length, and if you recall, we spoke about his awesome knife. And just what this is like a switchblade, okay? This deploys without any effort at all, just effortlessly. And let me tell you, this is one sharp baby. And this folding knife is called the Jake. And if you didn't catch our video, can you also do that? Can you tell them where to go for the not where to go, but where to go for the next video? Okay. Okay. The ability, this is interesting now, the ability to remove the head from the handle of earlier Chogan models was certainly a plus, referencing portability, right? You'd have the two pieces separate and you could put it in your knapsack. You didn't have the sheath, let's say, okay? No real need to separate head from handle in order to perform light tasks such as producing wood shavings, as I mentioned, to start a campfire. Simply choke up on the handle and use this as a matter of fact, this could be a good anchoring point, and you can whittle away, do those shavings to start a fire. Okay, I covered the anchoring point and all that business. Now, au contraire, reverse this, then again, you might want to remove the handle for some other reason, such as cosmetically altering the design, the fire-treated handle design here. And let's talk about that moment for those of you who are interested in doing such a, say, oh, I like this, but I have something better in mind. I'm going to sand this down. I'd like it sanded down. I don't want to show the, fire and texture and all that. Well, it's a simple process if you know what you're doing. You would use, and here's the key word, thin, you would use thin coats. Start with thin coats of linseed oil. Okay? So that's the magic. But we can't talk about linseed oil per se under one umbrella. There is, because not all linseed oils are created equal. What you need is a certain type of linseed oil, and that's boiled linseed oil. So don't run out and buy a can of or a bottle of linseed oil per se. You want to purchase linseed oil that is boiled. And why? Why do we do that? Or why do we purchase that? Because it has very important drying agents, and that's what you're after. So, enough said about the boiled linseed oil. On a couple of final notes of caution, I would avoid batoning, that is, repeatedly striking the tomahawk's handle with, a heavy-duty limb, in order to split wood, or you might wind up splitting the wrong wood. Also, again, Bob Banfelder, would steer clear of using the tomahawk as a throwing implement, unless, as I mentioned this earlier, you have malice, a forethought on your mind. With that said, enjoy CRKT's Ryan Johnson Black Woods Chogan T-Hawk 2730 KS. This tomahawk is an all-around winner for camping and hiking. Don't leave your tent or trail without it. And I think that wraps it up.